Your Wrangler has a built-in system that lets you flood the entire cabin with water and drain it through the floor in 60 seconds. And that is only number 1 on this list. We are counting down 12 hidden Wrangler features, and number 5 is the one that nobody believes. Number 12. The oil change indicator reset. Every time that oil change reminder pops up on your dash, you have 2 options. You either ignore it and let it bug you for weeks, or you drive to a shop and pay someone between $10 and $30 just to press a couple buttons and clear it. And that is all they are doing. On the JK Wrangler, you turn the ignition on without starting the engine, stomp the gas pedal to the floor 3 times, and turn the key off. Done. The oil life monitor resets to 100% and the reminder vanishes. On the JL models with the touchscreen, you tap through the vehicle settings menu and clear it in about 4 seconds. Shops have been charging Wrangler owners for this for years, and the entire procedure takes less time than unlocking your phone. Over the life of your Wrangler, that adds up to a couple $100 you just handed away for nothing. And honestly, this is the least impressive feature on this entire list, which should tell you exactly how wild the rest of it gets. But speaking of things that cost you nothing and change everything, number 11 is a feature you will use every single time you drive at night. Number 11, the headlight flash override. You probably already know that pulling the turn signal stalk toward you gives a quick high beam flash, but you can actually hold that stalk in the pulled position and keep the high beams burning as a constant override without clicking them into the locked on position. Why does this matter? Because on a dark trail at night, the difference between spotting a rock and driving right over it comes down to about 2 seconds of visibility. You hold the stalk, you get full LED power exactly when you need it, and the instant you let go, it drops back to low beams so you are not blinding anyone coming toward you. Combined with the LEDs that come standard on the Sahara and Rubicon trims, your Wrangler basically becomes a portable searchlight on demand. And you have been driving around with this ability for years without ever knowing it was there. Now that one protects you on the trail at night, but number 10 is about something happening under the hood right now that is quietly making your Wrangler feel slower than it should. Number 10, the throttle calibration procedure. If your gas pedal has started feeling lazy or sluggish over the last year or two, it is not in your head. Carbon deposits build up on your throttle body over time, and the computer slowly loses track of where your pedal positions actually are. There is a free recalibration that fixes it in about 30 seconds. Turn the key to on without starting the engine, wait for the dash lights to go out, then slowly push the gas pedal all the way to the floor and hold it for 5 seconds. Slowly release it, turn the key off, and start the engine. That is it. Your Wrangler just relearned the full range of the throttle from 0 to wide open. Owners who do this after a battery swap or throttle body cleaning say the difference is immediate. The idle smooths out, the pedal feels sharper, and the whole vehicle wakes up. Service departments charge real money for this when they bundle it with a throttle body cleaning, but the calibration procedure itself is completely free and takes about half a minute to do on your own in the driveway. And if that one surprised you, number 9 is going to sound so stupid that you will not believe it actually works until you try it yourself. Number 9, the rearview mirror flip trick. Flip your rearview mirror completely upside down on its mount. Go ahead and laugh, but then actually do it, because the Wrangler's windshield sits at roughly 60 degrees compared to the 30 to 40 degree rake on a normal sedan. That steep angle means your mirror in the standard position is cutting off a big chunk of what you should be seeing behind you. Upside down, the reflective glass repositions itself so you get a wider and taller view out the back window. Wrangler forums have been buzzing about this for over a decade, and the response is always the same. People try it as a joke, realize they can suddenly see way more behind them, and never flip it back. On the two-door models where that rear window is already tiny, this simple trick is the difference between guessing what is behind you and actually knowing for sure. And it costs you absolutely nothing except about 3 seconds of effort. That mirror trick is almost too simple, but number 8 is where things start getting serious for anyone who actually takes their Wrangler off-road. Number 8, the hidden manual shift mode. If your Wrangler has the automatic transmission, you can manually shift through every single gear right now, and there is a good chance your owner's manual barely mentioned it. While driving in the normal D position, tap the gear shifter to the left. The transmission instantly drops into manual mode. Bump the shifter forward to upshift, backward to downshift, and you have full control over all 8 gears in the JL's 8-speed automatic. On the trail, this changes everything. Instead of riding your brakes down a steep hill and smelling that hot pad stink the whole way, you lock it into a lower gear and let the engine do the work. Your brakes stay cool, your pads last longer, and you have way more control over your speed on technical terrain. When you are done, hold the shifter to the right for 2 seconds and it switches itself back to automatic. Forum threads about this feature are full of people saying they owned their Wrangler for 3, 4, even 5 years before someone in a parking lot told them about it. And every single one of them says the same thing afterward. They cannot believe the dealership never mentioned it during the test drive or the delivery walkthrough. Number 8 gives you control on the trail, but we need to talk about number 7, because this one is going to save you a trip to the dealer the next time a warning light scares you. Number 7, the Diagnostic Code Trick. On the JK Wranglers and early JL models, you can pull your own diagnostic codes without a scanner, without a dealer, and without spending a dime. Turn the ignition on without starting the engine, then off, then on, then off, then on, all within 5 seconds. Your instrument cluster lights up and starts scrolling through codes that tell you your battery voltage, your sensor readings, and any active trouble codes sitting in the system. For JL models with push-button start, press the button 3 times without touching the brake, and the system enters diagnostic mode. Now think about how many times a check engine light has popped up, and you drove straight to a dealership in a panic, paid $100 or more for them to plug in a scanner, and they told you it was just a loose gas cap. This trick eliminates that entire scenario. You check the code yourself, look it up on your phone, and decide whether it is something worth worrying about or just a sensor having a bad day. Wrangler owners on the forums estimate this trick has collectively saved the community thousands and thousands of dollars over the years. And the wild part is that this trick has been around since the early 2000s, but most owners still do not know about it because dealerships have zero incentive to tell you something that cuts into their diagnostic revenue. That one saves you money and stress, but number 6 is a total shift in tone, because Jeep hid this one purely to make you smile. By the way, if you care about keeping your Wrangler running like new, I made a simple step-by-step longevity guide with everything I wish I knew earlier. Nothing complicated, just what actually works. Links in the description if you want it. Number 6, the Easter egg collection. Somewhere on your Wrangler right now, there is a tiny illustration that you have never noticed. Jeep designers have been hiding little symbols and drawings all over the Wrangler since the TJ generation in 1997, and the modern JL has more of them than any other vehicle Jeep has ever built. A tiny Willys Jeep silhouette is etched into the lower corner of the passenger windshield. Morse code spelling JL is pressed into the interior panel below the 12-volt outlet in the trunk. When you start the engine, a 1941 Willys morphs into a modern Wrangler on the gauge cluster, and a little Jeep drives across the bottom of the screen. The Rubicon trim has the original Willys stamped right into the wheel, and one of the most famous ones is a pair of flip-flops pressed into the cowl area, which is a tribute to automotive journalist Rick Pugh, who was legendary for hitting the trails in nothing but sandals. There are spiders, lizards, a T-Rex skull, and the 7-slot grille pattern hiding in the headlights, the wiper blades, and even the radar sensor housing. Forum members have documented over 30 Easter eggs on a single Wrangler, and honestly, that number keeps growing because owners keep finding new ones every year. Go look at your Wrangler right now. There is something on it you have never seen. Those Easter eggs are fun to hunt for, but number 5 is the one we teased in the hook, and trust us, this one sounds fake until you actually do it. Number 5, the door latch bottle opener. The metal door latch on your Wrangler, that chunky loop of metal that catches and holds the door shut, is a fully working bottle opener. Hook the edge of a bottle cap under the latch, pull up, and the cap pops clean off every time. No bending, no struggling, no prying. It just works. This trick has been passed around Wrangler communities across every generation, the TJ, the JK, and the current JL. And Jeep has never once mentioned it in any marketing material or owner's manual. But the latch design works so perfectly as an opener that half the community is convinced the engineers did it on purpose and just never admitted it. When you are parked at a trailhead, sitting at camp with the doors off, or tailgating with the top down, this is the kind of thing that makes non-Jeep owners lose their minds. You just casually pop a bottle cap off the body of your vehicle and keep talking. And because the newer Wrangler doors come off without tools, that latch is accessible whether the door is mounted or sitting in your garage. No other vehicle on the planet has this. Not one. This is the definition of Wrangler culture, and the fact that most owners drive around for years without knowing it is genuinely criminal. Number 5 is peak Wrangler energy, but number 4 is where the tone shifts, because this one is about protecting your stuff when the doors are off and the top is down. Number 4, the jack storage secret compartment. Pull out the factory jack from your rear cargo area and look at the space behind it. There is a small storage pocket built directly into the body of the vehicle that is invisible when the jack is in place. When the tailgate is locked, there is zero access to this area from the outside. Zero. This makes it one of the most secure hiding spots on the entire Wrangler. Beach trips, trailhead parking lots, anywhere you know break-ins happen, this is where your phone, your key fob, and your cash go. Even if someone opens your unlocked front doors and tears through the whole cabin, they still cannot reach this compartment without popping the tailgate, which has its own separate lock. 2 layers of security that most thieves will never get past because they do not even know the space exists. For a vehicle that is literally designed to be driven with no doors and no roof, having a hidden vault built into the body is exactly the kind of engineering that makes the Wrangler different from everything else on the road. That jack compartment keeps your stuff safe, but number 3 adds another layer of hidden security that even your dealer probably forgot to show you. Number 3, the lockable hidden console compartment. Open your center console. You see the main bin and the small tray under the lid. Now flip the lid completely over and look at the bottom. There is a third compartment recessed into the underside of the lid that blends in so perfectly with the surrounding plastic that you would never notice it unless someone grabbed your hand and pointed it right at it. On the JL Wrangler, this compartment locks with your physical ignition key. Doors off, top down, parked in a crowded lot, and you have a completely invisible locked compartment for your wallet, cash, or insurance cards. Thieves almost never check this spot because they have no idea it is there. And Wrangler theft is not a small problem either. The FBI Uniform Crime Report has consistently ranked the Wrangler among the most stolen SUVs in the country, with over 12,000 units taken in some recent years. So a hidden lockbox that is built right into the console lid and invisible to anyone who does not already know about it is way more valuable than it sounds. The fact that dealerships do not point this out during the walkthrough is honestly baffling. Number 3 gives you a secret lockbox, but number 2 involves a feature that is so practical it feels like Jeep built it specifically for people who actually use their Wrangler hard. Number 2, the accessory beam mount. On the 2024 and newer JL models, there is a mounting space directly above the Uconnect touchscreen that looks like blank trim. It is not. That space has pre-built mounting points engineered into the dashboard from the factory, designed to accept a bolt-on metal rail that can hold your phone, a GoPro, a GPS unit, a two-way radio, or whatever else you need within arm's reach. Jeep sells the official accessory beam for around $60 to $80, but the key part is that the mounting holes are already there on every single Wrangler, whether you bought the beam or not. No drilling, no cutting, no modification. You bolt the rail in with basic hand tools, and suddenly you have a modular gear station right in front of you. For anyone who runs action cameras, GPS units, and communication equipment on the trail, this kills every suction cup mount and adhesive phone holder that has ever fallen off your windshield the second you hit a bump. Jeep built this into the dash without telling most buyers, and that right there tells you everything about how the people who design this vehicle actually use it themselves. Number 2 is incredibly practical, but number 1 is the feature that proves the Wrangler was engineered from the ground up for a life that no other vehicle on Earth was built to handle. Number 1, the removable floor drain plugs. This is it. This is the feature we told you about in the first 10 seconds. Underneath your factory floor mats, hidden beneath removable carpet squares, there are rubber drain plugs built directly into the floor pan of your Wrangler. On the JL from 2018 and newer, you get 4 of them, 1 under each seat. On the older JK, you can have 8 or more across the entire floor, plus 1 hiding in the rear jack storage area that almost nobody ever finds. Pull the mats up, twist the plugs out, and water drains straight through the floor of the vehicle onto the ground below. Think about what that means. Jeep built a vehicle with holes in the floor on purpose because they knew you would drive it with no doors, no roof, through rainstorms and river crossings, and they engineered the cabin to survive it. The Wrangler can ford up to 30 inches of water from the factory, and these plugs are a major reason the interior does not turn into a swamp after a water crossing. A lot of owners pull the plugs permanently during the summer, so the whole vehicle becomes self-draining. Rain rolls in, water comes through, water drains out, and you keep driving. The only trade-off is a little road noise and some dust from below, but when you are already running doorless and topless, you do not care. No other SUV, truck, or car on the planet has removable floor drain plugs. Not one. This feature exists because the Wrangler is the only production vehicle designed to be driven through actual water with actual holes in the body where your doors used to be. And the fact that millions of Wrangler owners have been driving around on top of these plugs for years without knowing they are there is the single best example of why this vehicle is in a class entirely by itself. Most owners have no idea their Wrangler can do this. So comment below, what shocked you the most? Hit subscribe for more hidden features and click the video on your screen, because if you like this one, that video is going to blow your mind too. See you in the next one.